Welcome to the Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and bigz, but
that's Grindberg. I am bigz. Schultze's in the background.
And wow, you look a little bit different there, bigz. You look like a little bit more clean cut. Where's your hat? Where's your glasses? You get some LASIK or something?
Yeah, isn't that crazy what it does?
Yeah, totally. Well, I'm not sure if you look better or worse, but either way, you're here with us. Actually, bigz is on assignment, still not feeling great. So Schulte's here again to take over, and we're going to be talking about the injury show headed into week 13. Now, decent list here, Schultze. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start here, and I'll start probing you because that's what I love to do. We're going to talk first game here.
I mean, just going straight for it today.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Let's go talk about JK Dobbins. He is out with a knee injury, marking another setback in his injury-riddled career. Gus Edwards and Kimani Vidal will likely handle the backfield duties in Dobbins' absence. Edwards, a veteran, a solid track record, has been splitting carries with Dobbins, but could get a heavier workload moving forward. So, with Edwards and Vidal now leading the backfield, which one do you trust more as your RB2 flex in fantasy, and should we be worried about their split?
Oh, it's got to be Gus Edwards. As much as I want it to be Vidal, like for the narrative and the the offseason hype and everything, it's Gus Edwards without question. I mean, yeah, I'm not even thinking twice about it.
Yeah. Now, do you think without their star running back, are they going to be working towards now more of a pass-happy approach, you're thinking here?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would tend to say no, I don't think it should impact that much because Gus Edwards has all this experience in the system. He has a ton of experience, filling in for injuries over there at Baltimore, especially behind JK Dobbins.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think it's going to impact too much, like play style wise.
Okay. Yep. All right. Yeah, I agree with that. I think, maybe a little bit of a shift depending on how they do on the ground. But honestly, I'm expecting Gus to get the full, first and second down role, but I'm expecting Kimani Vidal to come in again and still, get some play as well. So I just think they're just going to come in and continue to do what they're doing and try and stay their way into games. Now, let's move on to Josh Downs, who is out with the shoulder injury. He's leaving a void in the Colts receiving game. He led the team with 53 receptions, 594 yards to date, with Alec Pierce also dealing with a foot injury. Michael Pittman is set to dominate the targets, but Adonai Mitchell could step into a larger role. So with Downs out, can Pittman be trusted as a strong wide receiver 1, or are we looking at more of a wide receiver 2 range? Or will Pierce or Mitchell surprise in this passing game this week?
Ooh, I don't want anything to do with Michael Pittman as a top 12 wide receiver.
Yeah.
Not now, not before the season, nothing. So I like Adonai Mitchell as a sleeper. I loved him coming out of Texas. I saw a lot of CeeDee Lamb in his game. Now, obviously, not saying he's CeeDee Lamb, but he's starting to make some of those splash plays. Yards after the catch, like that was one of the things he really popped at in college, was able to making guys miss. He's got great ball skills. I like this dude. And I do think you're going to see him step into a larger role because they can move him into the slot. Now, this is where it gets tricky because we're not the coaching staff game planning. So it's easy for me to sit here and say, oh, move Mitchell to the slot and he's going to feast because New England's got Christian Gonzalez, who has been fantastic. And you could very easily see him limiting Michael Pittman. So sure, it's easy for an idiot like me to say put Mitchell in the slot and, do work. But is that going to happen? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think this could be Adonai Mitchell's kind of breakout game here. He had a little bit one earlier. If Downs is out, I just think that this could be the position here for him. And I'm going to invest more in Adonai Mitchell as a sleeper and then invest in Michael Pittman as this, primary option in that offense. Now, Jalen Coker is out with a quad injury. Once again, this keeps Adam Thielen as the primary target in the Panthers offense. I mean, obviously David Moore came in last week, and I think he's going to, garner some attention as well. But Xavier Legette and Tommy Tremble will pick up some extra snaps. Thielen has been solid, coming out of his injury here, but he does have his target share rise to, maybe wide receiver 1 levels with Coker out, and 1 game removed from his injury. Do you think he'll be more of a reliant, and do you think they're going to be able to rely on him in a volume in this struggling offense?
Oh, sorry. My cat's calling for me down here. I don't know if you can hear.
All good.
Man, it's nice to see that little bit of Bryce Young resurgence that we all thought was coming. He looked great against a very, very good defense, and was a big reason they were in that game. So it sucks to lose Coker here, but in regards to Thielen, I think this is the dude you're playing. Legette has shown a little bit of flash here and there. But he's still a project, and it shows on Sundays. So yeah, without Coker, I think David Moore does provide a little bit here because he's just that veteran presence who clearly showed up last week. But yeah, I'm still down for Thielen being the guy here.
Yeah, I think they both are actually playable this week, both Thielen and Moore. This is a situation here you're going to have to continue to monitor. But, Tampa Bay, they give up a lot of points to opposing wide receivers. So I'm expecting this game to kind of be some points scored in it. And I'm liking both Thielen and Moore in this situation quite a bit. So I'd be playing them, especially with Coker out and Jatavian Sanders as well, who was, garnering some targets in that first half before that neck injury. All right, let's move on let's talk about Breece Hall. He's dealing with the knee issue, but he returned to practice in limited fashion. He did, the Jets said he's good to go. So how confident are you as Hall being your RB1, assuming he's active this week and gets his full workload? They're playing the Seahawks.
I mean, this is another tough one. And another case of what are the coaches playing on? Because this is, now without Robert Saleh, it's kind of we don't have much sample to look on to see how are they going to run things here. But also Braylon Allen has kind of been a thorn in the side. You've seen Breece get rolling, and then all of a sudden Allen's in, and he gets going too, and he's been really good, right? I don't know, man. This is a tough one. If Hall's active, I'm playing him. There's no doubt. I'm not benching him. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, you're not benching Breece Hall, regardless of where he's at. But I'm just tempering my expectations coming off that injury. Where do I have him ranked this week? I have him a little bit further down. He's still a top 10 play for me, but I have him ranked as 9. I got a couple guys ahead of him. I like Mixon's matchup. I like Chase Brown, his role in that offense. Bijan against the Chargers. I had Josh Jacobs and DeVonta Chain ahead of him, Kamara, Barkley, and McCaffrey as well. So I like a bunch of guys ahead of him, just based off of the injury. And we'll see what happens here. Now, if you could go to somewhere that, like-minded people go to talk about football or baseball or basketball for that matter, just let loose without all the hustle and bustle of Twitter or, the trolls of Reddit, where could we go? Where are we? Are we here? We are
here. And I think I know a place about that.
We are here. We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.
All right, you better get there and get your pro membership today. lots of stuff happening on the off season, like our jersey leagues and stuff like that. And they're coming down to the wire here. So I know I'm in the thick of my jersey league. How about you, Schultze?
Ooh, I'm on the cusp, but I think I'm going to miss the playoffs.
Ooh, yeah, it's a tough one. I've got a tough division, but I'm gonna make a stride here, and I think I might have a good shot at winning it all. So we'll have to see. But let's move on here. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I just got word that they're both good to go, from what I hear. But they're both nursing injuries, and the absence of either one of them would immediately continue to boost the breakout season of Jackson Smith-Njigba, who will see increased opportunities. But he's, a bona fide wide receiver one, if you ask me, from here on out. Jackson Smith-Njigba is. Now, what do you see about DK Metcalf's changing role and his injury here? Because obviously, he's not the lead guy now anymore. JSN has kind of supplanted him in that lineup. From what I see every day, they're using DK as a decoy downfield a little bit more to open up those intermediate routes for JSN. So with the injury, what's your advice for fantasy managers this week that have DK Metcalf on their roster?
Well, first of all, isn't it finally nice to see the JSN breakout?
Oh, for sure. I mean, last year, it was a tough one. He started the year injured, and that injury happened in training camp.
And that's hard for rookies.
It's the worst for the rookies because they're not coming in like they were injured in college and having, that happens right in the camp. So when they miss out on those really important reps, especially early on as a rookie, they're bound to have some regression, some growing pains. And that's what happened. And we saw JSN latter half of last year have some upside, and that's why a lot of people were on him this year. And now the talent's breaking through, and that offense led by Ryan Grubb is really coming around now, and I'm thinking that it's going to happen here for JSN moving forward.
Oh yeah, I feel very confident in him. The one thing I said, I loved him in the offseason. The one thing I remember saying was the talent didn't change. All the things we said about this guy coming out of college, that's not any different. This is still the same player. It's still the same guy. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it is, and it's regardless of age and whatnot. It's just a matter of seeing these guys progress and really trust your eyes in the process. And sometimes it just takes some patience with these guys. So let's move on to Brian Robinson Jr. He was limited with an ankle injury, but he should play. I got notice that he should be playing, making him, ranking him as the RB29 so far this year. 537 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns. He faces a tough Titans defense who, I called out on our start and sit show as a sit. So I'm going to sit all Commanders running backs. So with this situation evolving, how confident are you in Brian Robinson this week?
Well, this is a tough one. Probably not too confident. Yeah, the high ankle sprains are tough, and I totally spaced the other day about that. That's what was lingering with him. And the ankle sprains are they're very hard for players to come back from. You see them lose burst. His team at Eckler last year was the same thing. That dude already runs through mud, and then when he sprained his ankle, it was like he ran through quicksand. So yeah, no, I don't feel good. Eckler's been doing pretty solid recently, and they've been giving snaps to Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols. They've been rotating a lot. So yeah, I don't feel great about it.
Yeah, me neither. So I just wanted to get your opinion on that. So Austin Eckler still recovering from that concussion. Doesn't look like he's going to be playing. So it looks like it's going to be Brian Robinson and Jeremy McNichols this week. So moving on to Dalton Kincaid. He is ruled out with that knee injury, marking his second consecutive game miss. This leaves Dawson Knox as the lead tight end, but he remains a lower end streaming option. With Kincaid out, do you view Knox creeping into tight end 1 range against the 49ers? Is he worth picking up for those needing a streaming option?
If you're in a tough spot, 100%. Chemistry's there with Josh Allen. Red zone chemistry is there with Josh Allen. Scramble drill chemistry is there with Josh Allen. And with those, the red zone and the scramble drill stuff with Josh Allen, like that comes into play every single game with this team. So like that alone, you're looking at potential touchdown, upside. And I think he gets a decent amount of targets, probably 5, 6, 7 in there. So yeah, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, and like you said, the touchdown upside there is always there. So Keon Coleman, questionable with that wrist injury. His absence could increase, Gabe Day. Look, no, what am I talking about? That could increase, Dawson Knox situation here. So what do we think? Amari Cooper, what's his role now? We saw Curtis Samuel come in here last week and kind of take on more work. What are we doing with time? What are we doing with the Bills wide receivers?
I'm not really starting any of them. What's up with Shakir? He was hurt for a hot second, wasn't he?
He was, but he's playing. Yeah.
So I'd be cool starting Shakir. They've done a good job drawing him up in the slot and getting him open and working in space and stuff. Samuel, I guess if you are in a pinch, like I'm cool starting Samuel. Probably Shakir is an okay start normally. And other than that, I mean, it's the Josh Allen show, man. It always has been.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't really know who's going to get the benefit of his targets at this stage. But Shakir
especially once they lost Diggs.
Yeah.
It's just been – they don't care. They're going to spread it around and whatever works, win the game.
Yeah. And then here's the last guy that we got to talk about. DeVonta Smith returned to practice ahead of this week's matchup against the Ravens. His status is still uncertain. He missed last week's win over the Rams due to that injury. He's been a consistent contributor when healthy. 41 receptions, 516 yards, 4 touchdowns in 9 games. Not as prolific as he was last year. And I said it on our Pulse show last night. I'm kind of down on DeVonta Smith, even if he does play. So if he's active, do you trust him as a solid wide receiver too, given the uncertainty, or do you lean towards other options in your lineup against the tough Ravens defense?
It's tough. I think I'm probably cool with him this week because Ravens are like ridiculous on the ground, and I know it's Saquon, so like he's still going to get his, but they're bad through the air. So absolutely. I think because of that, and then this is also the highest game total of the weekend at like 49.5, I believe. So Vegas is calling for points. Like this has the makings of being a high scoring affair. So yeah, I'm putting him in my lineups.
All right, there you go. All right, folks. A lot of stuff headed into the weekend. We've had 4 games already go down. So, we're halfway through almost, the slate here. So not much more news to recuperate here. So let's let our viewers get on with their Saturday. Thanks for tuning in to the Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and Schultze today. Hope bigz starts feeling better. We definitely missed him out this week on our Thanksgiving run that we had, but he's feeling
much. There were some Thanksgiving runs, am I right?
Hey, there you go, bigz. Let's do it. It's a taco in a bag. What can I say? Appreciate everybody, all our viewers tuning in, everybody supporting the Fantasy Sports Advice Network. Remember, we'll be back for our waiver wire show dropping Tuesday morning on the forecast. We have, Queen's Ransom, bigz is on Wednesdays. Don't forget about, our start and sit show on Thursday, PAT Thursday, from the forum Friday nights with our leader, Tyler, and then, breakfast with bigz is always happening. So check us out. Every week we're here, we're dropping it. Schultze, thanks for coming on. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for, hanging out with me once again. My pleasure. It was your pleasure. That was a nice smile. We appreciate you, buddy. What do we say when we're giving our viewers away? We hope you win. We hope you win. Peace out.
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to fantasysportsadvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to fantasysportsadvice.com today.